Welcome back. This video is your standing tutorial. Now that we've learned our first movement, let's go through what we've already done. Let's bring the hands, palms on the heart to begin this time, and we'll take 3 sighs. Hands, palms float down like resting on a table. And 3 pulling down the heavens, flipping the palms up. Inhale, drawing a circle, breathing through the pores. And then as you exhale, release any physical tension, emotional holdings, and relax the mind. 2 more passes on your own. Hands, palms resting on a table. So the foundation of all of our postures is the standing alignments. We want to develop a great standing practice, which will benefit everything else we do in our Qigong. The importance of standing cannot be understated in these internal arts. So I'm going to show it from the side for a moment. I know you can't see all the way down to my feet, but they are shoulder width apart, so about this far apart, and my feet are facing forward. They're not going out at a 45, not ducktailing in. They're straight, like on train tracks. Now there's different positions, and there's different meanings behind the positions. I'm going to go over a basic Wuji, or neutral stance. So we want to aim for evenness in the body. So when you bring your awareness down to the soles of your feet, there are 4 points of the foot. 2 towards the balls of the feet, 2 towards the heels. Aim for evenness. Notice if you're too far forward, too far back, if you can find the middle path. Now for a moment, straighten your legs, lock out your knees, and then bend them. We want the knees bent, not the locked out version. You can try that again. As you lock out your knees, it blocks off the chi in the legs. You want to keep the knees bent, but not so far. Look down at your toes, not so far that the knees are bent past the toes. Part of the intention of keeping the joints bent is that we don't want to block off the chi. We want to open up the joint spaces. Now this next one takes a little bit of explaining. We want to release the outer hips and we want to sink into the qua. So the hips are going to be sinking down. Your qua is this region of the body. If you were to wear a bikini, that's the one. So what we want to do is we want to sink from the qua down so that we sink into the hips so the outer hips can relax. Now what is happening in the tailbone sacrum region? We're not flaring it out like a duck butt. And we're not intentionally squeezing our glutes to tuck it under. But when we sink properly into the qua, we'll release downwards, and it's as if there's a weight on the tailbone, and the tailbone begins to sink down to the earth. There may be a little tucking as the tailbone sinks down, but it's not an intentional glute squeeze tuck under. It's like this will come with time, yeah? Much of what you'll learn in your standing practice, among many other postures and movements in the Qigong arts, is this quality of song. Song means release, and it's a capacity you develop to let go of chronic tensions or release different areas of the body. And this is something that'll develop, that'll support your standing and capacity to work with Qi. Now your armpits, we want to have some space into them. This one's kind of a silly cue, but it works. If I were to stick a hot egg underneath your armpit, for whatever reason you want to hold it in there. I don't know why, but let's just pretend that's the case. You wouldn't want to squeeze your armpits because that would burn you. It's a hot egg. You don't want to open up your armpit so wide that it falls out. So there's like a middle place where there's just a little opening of the armpits, which helps the opening of this region of the body. The elbows and shoulders are sunk down, not hiked up. And then the palms, once again, spread open, tight like a drum skin. This will help to open up Lao Gong in the center of the palm, as well as open up the long bones of the fingers and the meridian energy channels that flow through. The chin slightly tucked down to elongate the back of the neck. Now this is an important one. Notice the relationship of the lower part of your spine to the upper part of your spine. It's like it's stretching, yeah? Because you're releasing the hips down, tucking the chin in to elongate and float the head. So it's like your skull is here and the rest of your spine is hanging down. Give a nice passive elongating stretch on the vertical axis of your body. That stretching will happen more and more over time. Now there's a ton of other cues, but I'm just going to go over the ones that we went over and then offer some of the more subtle ones. So, your feet, neutral position, 4 points of the foot planted evenly, slight bend in the knees, the hips are sinking down from the quad. Tailbone is heavy as if there's a 1,000-pound weight hanging from it. Little space in the armpits, your shoulders and elbows releasing down, and you can feel the weight of the arms in your legs and feet. Spread of the palms, slight tuck of the chin, hang the skull and release through the spinal cord. So there's layers and layers, and every time you drop into your standing posture, you'll want to go over these, especially in the beginning, until it's built as a template in your system. Some of the additional cues is often we'll practice with the tongue to the roof of the mouth, which connects central energy lines, the Du and the Ren meridian, which helps with the circulation of qi through the system. You can either place it behind the teeth or slide it towards the soft palate. The eyes can be open during your practice, but keep a loose gaze, not looking at anything in particular unless you need to look at the screen, of course. The eyes can be halfway open, halfway closed, or all the way closed. It's good to practice with what's called the inner smile. The inner smile is like a flower blossoming in your heart. There's an openness coupled with a sense of non-judgmental, unconditional love for the self. It's a beautiful thing to practice in every moment, but in our Qigong practice, we do this to cultivate the heart and our relationship with our own body. And sometimes the inner smile is coupled with a secret or outer smile, which, you know, those like little Buddha statues? Take a little upturn to the corners of the lips. Just a little gentle smirking. A reminder to come back into that heart smilingness, that inner friendliness, which will couple with your practice so well. Subtle cues continuing. The lower abdominal region, the Dantian region, we'll talk about in later videos, very important. I call it presencing the abdomen. It's not like you're contracting it, like you're trying to make your six-pack all flexed, but you're gently pulling in the abdomen. You're still expanding as you inhale, exhale, it's releasing and relaxing. But there's a sense of presence, which is like the corset of the inner abdominal wall, which helps to stabilize your core. Key area is the lower abdomen below the belly button and the pelvic floor. So there's a presencing, like a 30% energetic holding of the perineum and a slight closing in of the anus. This creates the actual pelvic floor, so it's not just empty space so the organs are pressing down into nothing. There's a little support at the bottom. And when we start doing Dantian building, this becomes particularly important. For now, don't worry too much about it. We're just learning a lot of these cues. They'll develop over time. Drop the awareness through the body. So important to be able to soak the mind in the body without always having the mind outside, looking out at the senses, but learning to turn within. We'll come back to our standing practice in many of the videos going over these alignments. And I encourage you to continue to practice this as often as you can, even if it's 5 minutes a day or longer periods of like 20 minutes. Don't want to be completely lazy in it. We don't want to get so flaccid that we sink down. We don't want to be hyper contracted. We want to be in the middle, between those poles, finding harmony in Tai Chi. Let's close our standing practice with 3 pulling down the heavens, flipping the palms. Inhale to gather, breathe through all the pores. Exhale, releasing and relaxing from head to toe. And stacking the palms, 9 rotations counterclockwise, down the right and up the left, and then 9 rotations clockwise. Guide your awareness down into the lower abdomen and breathe deeply down into the lower centers. Holding in stillness, giving gratitude for the beautiful life that we have, for our food, our water, and our shelter, for the physical body, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being, for our families, community, earth, and sky. This completes our practice for today. I'll see you in the next video.